start this call. Listen, I'm telling you, this is the call of the week. If your team is not on this call, you're sleeping right now. You must not want to make millions. And it's crazy because you don't know how to make millions, not with a skill set, but with the mind. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the call. Yes. Like Miss Smith said, this is the call. We're about to start, ladies and gentlemen, in 30 seconds. If your team is not on this call, if your leaders are not on this call, then I don't know what's going on. But ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, man, I want to just bring to the forward Brian. Brian's actually been one of my most influential people in my life. Man, I met him in March. All right, I never really physically met him, but trust me, he has one of the most influential people in my life right now. This guy has definitely poured into my life, and thanks to the Mindset Masteries and thanks to Paulise, man, I really elevated my life. Ladies and gentlemen, if you knew where I was, I'll say about 8 months ago, right? At the beginning of February, beginning of January, I only had $400 to my name, literally, right? I'm a Kent State graduate out of Kent State University. I have my aeronautics degree, and one of the things that we learned about, what I've learned in my life is that, yes, I have a federal degree, I have a federal job, but I couldn't, especially with COVID, couldn't get necessarily into my career path, right? And I'm wondering to myself, I got a degree, and now it's not working how I want it to be. How can I make money? How can I actually be financially free, right? I want to understand, how do I get the results that with the people that I know have the results have, for example, like Brian, right? Like multimillionaires, right? Like Elon Musk, right? People, whoever is your role model, whoever you see that, I want to live that lifestyle. How do I really achieve that? And so I'm here just understanding what society has given me, but it's not enough. I'm not satisfied, right? I don't want to work a job to the day I die. I don't want to work 40 years of my life, right? I want to know, how can I make a stream of income? How can I live the life that I deserve, the life of abundance, right? Live a financially free lifestyle, right? And therefore, if you know my story, right? Flow Life Felix, it really came from, actually have coaching from Brian, right? So, as we matriculate through my year, I met Brian and literally transformed my life, right? From making $400 to my account, or only $400 to my name, making somebody's salary in a month, right? In a month, right? And this is before B, right? Because understand that without the mind, there is no success, right? Success is 99% spiritual. And thanks to Brian, he has given me some world-class information that has not only elevated my life, but has allowed me to use the same information to impact others, right? Brian, Brian, it's so many things I want to tell about Brian. Like, literally, you don't understand. Like, I literally went from 0 to 100 in 1 year. Imagine you being the rookie of the year and MVP the same year. That's how I feel, right? So without further ado, man, I want to bring on Brian. He's Bob Proctor. Have you ever heard of Bob Proctor? He's the #1 coach for Bob Proctor. He owns at least 4 businesses, but has 12 streams of income. Is an 8-figure earner, right? And one of the coolest guys I know. And it took the time to be out here, not in the States, but hosting this call in Colombia. So without further ado, I want to bring Brian to the table, man. One of the coolest kids I know. And take it away, Brian.
Hey, Felix. What's up, brother? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, listen, it's been amazing to watch your journey. You're one of the most disciplined students I've ever come across. You're hungry for the knowledge. You're applying it. So, you deserve more credit than anybody in that whole equation, because you can teach somebody information, but if they don't apply it and if they're not hungry, you're talking to a brick wall. So I want to commend you for the growth that you've done and, really impacting other people. So, guys, I'm happy to be here, blessed to be here. Anything for Felix. And I want you to understand, like, tonight's going to be like drinking from a fire hose. This is recorded, so if you registered, you'll get the replay. But I want to give you as much impact, as much value as I can here in our time here, about 40, 45 minutes. So I'm going to jump right into it, guys. And it's very important, as Felix was saying, to understand that wealth is 95% mindset. 95% mindset, right? And only 5% what you do. Now, this number might seem a little skewed, or it might seem like it's out of whack, but I'm going to give you some examples, right? So most of you in Forex trading, you understand the New York Stock Exchange. You could be a stock trader like these people here, right? You could be a normal stock trader, or you could be like Warren Buffett, right? So same industry, same vertical, but different mindset. Different mindset, guys. That makes sense? I want you guys to think about that as I roll these through, You could be in real estate, like these people here, right? Or you could be like Mr. Grant Cardone, you could be in real estate, right? So same vertical, different mindset, different mindset. All right, guys, and take a look at this here. You could be in network marketing like 150 million other people and kind of just going about your thing, or you could be like Felix, get some information, right? And I'm sure most of you in the Forex industry here know Alex Morton, right? 7 figures a month in his 20s. So think about that. What's the difference? It's not the industry, it's the mindset, the mindset, the mindset, guys. I can't stress enough. Same thing happened to me. I was going along pretty good in life. Had some businesses fairly successful. When I started working with Bob Proctor, everything changed, right? I scaled my company from 1 million to 10 million in 12 months. And one of the things I want to do with you here, like Felix said, this is not a prospecting meeting. This is an awareness meeting. This is an educational meeting. You guys are in one of the best companies, one of the fastest growing startup companies here. So it's not the vehicle. It's not going to be the vehicle, right? It's going to be you, the person looking in the mirror that makes this succeed. And in the industry of network marketing, I want you guys to understand when you're talking to people, it's over $200 billion a year industry, right? $200 billion a year industry. And I want you to really reflect on this because you're going to be talking to people that are going to be ignorant about the industry, right? And it's not going to be the company. It's not going to be B. They're going to have a question mark about the industry. Forex trading is a multi-trillion-dollar a year industry. So the question mark is going to be that. And there's more millionaire network marketers in the world than there are millionaire realtors. I want you to think about this, right? Because realtors, I mean, everybody looks at realtors, oh, that's a viable vertical. That's a viable industry, right? But there's more millionaire network marketers than there are millionaire realtors, right? And, you know, Forex trading is a recession-proof business. Think about that one too. Doesn't matter if the markets are going up, going down, recession-proof industry. Forex trading is something that is very different than most other network marketing companies. If you're in a product-based company and COVID hits, right, that's going to take a major hit. But right now, everybody's looking to make money from home, and they're looking to make money in such a way that it's bulletproof. And if you learn how to successfully trade, that's a bulletproof, recession-proof, home-based business. So I just want you guys to understand what you have with this company B, what you have in your hands. Don't let anybody shake your confidence. Don't let anybody knock you off track. They may be ignorant, which is not their fault, but you're not. You've made the decision, you're here, and now you're working on your mindset too, which is going to be really the fuel behind the industry. All right, guys. So like I said, I like to educate people on network marketing. When I came across the network marketing industry, I had been an engineer, an architect, a builder. I had done fairly well, but it wasn't until I came across this industry that I learned the skills behind mindset, right? The skills behind mindset. I learned teaching, coaching, training, public speaking, all came from network marketing. When I learned a little capful of this information, it allowed me to grow my construction company from 1 million to 10 million in 12 months. All right. From 1 million to 10 million in 12 months. And then after that, I really put the gas down and started multiple other companies. We're in software, gaming, clothing. I'm the number 2 earner in a network marketing company. And I don't say any of this to impress you. I was actually in my early 40s before I got any of the information that you guys are going to get here tonight. And I look at Felix and Maurice and these guys that are in their 20s, and you're starting to get the same information, the same mindset of how Warren Buffett thinks and acts and operates. And I'm going to show you more about this tonight. So understand the industry of network marketing, understand the company that you're in, and understand that most global thought leaders recommend network marketing, right, as an entry-level way for a young business person to get going, or even an old business person, right? There's no overhead, hardly any cost, there's no risk, and you can franchise around the world, right? So most billionaires will edify network marketing. You know, mainstream America might be ignorant to it, but most billionaires, Elon Musk, people like Tony Robbins, right? Warren Buffett has 3 network marketing companies inside of Berkshire Hathaway. And this is also where you get to learn to teach and coach and train, right? Network marketing is human to human. I mean, I just look at the growth in Felix over the past 8 months, and I mean, you need a telescope to look back, right? It's all about helping people now and just giving back, and that's really where it's at. And you get paid while you're learning. So I want you guys to think about network marketing like a 4-year degree, right? Like a 4-year degree in college. People go to college for 4 years. They spend $100,000. They don't make a dime during those 4 years, right? And then they get out and they're lucky to make $50K a year, if that. Like Felix said, he couldn't even get a job because the market was in the toilet. So think about that. I want you guys to have a 4-year approach to network marketing. Take it serious, go all in, and just don't even put your head up for 4 years, right? Freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year. And then you pick your head up, you'll see you probably have a 5 or 6 figure a month income, right? If you literally do what we ask here. And think about it, right? Like I said, Richard Branson, Tony Robbins, all the billionaires around the world, they recommend network marketing. And you're going to have to get really good at explaining this to people and neutralizing their mind about what network marketing is. All right. And once you understand that, guys, you'll have the keys to the kingdom. When you can posture up and tell them your story and educate them on network marketing, you can have a lot of success in this business. All right, guys. So again, I want you to think about this, right? Most billionaires recommend network marketing, and 96% of the world's wealth is earned by 1% of the population. 96% of the wealth is earned by 1% of the population. And you got to think for a second, it's like, why is this? We hear these numbers, but why, right? Why is this? And when you think about the network marketing industry, right, in Forex trading, 95% of the money that moves around goes to 5% of the people that are not trading on emotion, right? You guys have a system. We're going to teach you how to be bulletproof with your mindset. You cannot trade on emotion. You have to trade on a system. So 95% of the money is moving around to the 5% that are patient and disciplined and following systems. And guess what? You guys offer systems in your company, right? So think about that. But there's reasons for this, though. Why is it that 95% of the money flows to 5%? And guys, the reason is because we're simply not taught how to build wealth in schools, right? I'm not here to beat up on the school system, but the fact of the matter is they teach you a little math, little English, little science, little history. They're teaching you to be a school teacher, if you think about it. They're not teaching Forex trading. They're not teaching real estate. They're not teaching leverage. They're not teaching decision-making, right? Most kids go to college undeclared, right? Undeclared, which means not decided, right? I want you to think about that, not decided. But they'll go 4 years, 6 years, even longer, and hundreds of thousands of dollars with no decision. Right? We're not taught decision-making. We're not taught self-image. We're not taught self-image. We're not taught wealth building. Like I said, I could teach a 16-year-old kid in high school how to save some pennies, buy his first 3-family house, right? 3-family home at age 18, rent out 2 floors, live in 1, and keep doing that. And by the time they're 30, they'll be a multimillionaire, never having entered a college. So we're not taught how to build wealth in school. You can go to Harvard Business School and not learn anything about wealth. But when you get into network marketing, next thing you know, you're on a webinar on a Friday night, and you got somebody that's teaching you about wealth building, right? And we're not taught what paradigms are, guys. So we're going to talk a little bit about paradigms, and this is really the crux of the webinar here tonight. When you understand what a paradigm is, you'll understand how to be successful almost overnight, like Felix is, right? So, guys, a paradigm is a set of mental programs that have almost exclusive control over all of your results. I want you to think about this. Just calm your mind for a minute and listen, right? When you're born a blank slate. Subconsciously, you don't have any programs. You can't speak. You can't walk. You can't really do much of anything. That's why we need our parents. So you're born blank. So your subconscious mind is wide open. I'll give you a good example. Whatever your native language is, whether it's Spanish or English or whatever it is, you never chose to speak that. Like I never chose to speak English. That was spoken around me. And it went right into my subconscious mind, and it got stored as a program called speaking. So guys, drop some fire in the chat if that makes sense, right? When you're born, we're born ignorant, which just means not knowing. Just means not knowing, right? And then our parents, the school systems, everything around us, all these programs start to go in your subconscious mind. So I want you to picture this, guys and girls. Imagine you had grown up with Warren Buffett as your father. I want you to really picture this. At least financially. Imagine you'd grown up with Warren Buffett as your father, right? You'd be a billionaire by now, but you wouldn't even know the difference. You'd have the language called wealth building. I have the English language. Some people speak Chinese. Well, wealth building is a language. As soon as you understand that, you just got to commit to the study of wealth building. It's super simple, actually. It's just that we have limiting beliefs given to us for like 10 or 20 years about what's possible, what's doable. We're conditioned to be employees through school. We're not conditioned to get to 6 figures a month. But I know 20-year-old kids all over the world making 6 and 7 figures a month. So think about that, right? Your paradigm is like an operating system in a computer. It's identical to this, right? A brand new operating system, it doesn't have PowerPoint or Word or Excel. You have to load those programs in. Does that make sense? So your subconscious mind is like an operating system in a computer, and it's 1,000,000 times more powerful than your conscious mind as a data storage center. Let that sink in. This is why when you consciously say, I want to get to 6 figures a month, right? Your subconscious mind doesn't have the program called 6 figures a month. It's not there yet. You guys are all in the process of installing the program called 6 figures a month. Does that make sense, guys? That resonate? Put a 7 in the chat if that resonates, because this is actually very simple. We're just not taught this in school. Now, you can't blame somebody that's not taught something, right? So don't beat yourselves up. It's not your fault. I wasn't taught either. Not until I was in my early 40s. You guys are getting this way earlier than me, right? So we have this operating system. It's called our subconscious mind. And now for the first time ever, you're going to be programming it. So like I said, when you were born, you didn't have the program called walking. You couldn't have walked. And if I gave you a book on walking, you would have probably eaten it or drooled on it, but you never would have learned to walk. See, you needed mentors to learn to walk, didn't you? Somebody holding your hand through the process, somebody moving your little feet, somebody mimicking the behavior on the side of you. And then you learn that through repetition over time. Now, here's the difference. As a brand new baby, you have no ability to reject information. Right now, if you're 20, 30, 40, 50 years old, you reject almost everything. If I tell you can get to 7 figures a month, you're probably going to reject that. But a brand new baby wouldn't reject that. They would just do whatever's told. And like I said, if you grew up with Warren Buffett, you'd already be a billionaire. So think about that. These are all just programs. Smoking is part of a paradigm. Smoking is not a physical habit. It's a mental program expressed physically. I want to let that one sink in for a minute. Right? If anybody here smokes, it's such an easy thing to quit, but you got to change the program. If you're trying to physically quit, it won't work. You got to remove the program or create a new program. Smoking is not a physical habit. It's a mental program expressed physically. Does that make sense, guys? Throw some fire in the chat if that makes sense, because I want this to hit home, especially if you're a smoker. After this webinar, you should quit. You'll have all the information to quit. And after this webinar, you're going to have all the information to build wealth, because guess what? Wealth building is a set of programs, and anyone can learn this. It's not even hard. You just haven't been taught in school. And now you're getting some information right here. We can teach you how to build wealth. Now, it's not going to happen overnight. There's some discipline and willpower, but I promise you, if you put your energy towards it, you will build wealth, especially with this company here. You guys have an amazing company. So wealth building is a program. It's a set of programs, no different than Chinese, English, or Spanish. Does that make sense? Drop a 7 in the chat if this is making sense, guys. I want to make sure we're hitting home, make sure I'm explaining this, because what I'm telling you here, like I could teach this to a 6-year-old, right? Awesome. Dig it, dig it. So guys, Forex trading is a set of programs. English is programs. Smoking is programs. Your subconscious mind wouldn't know the difference between smoking and wealth building. When I wake up in the morning, I just build wealth. I have all these programs, all these companies, and I don't say that to impress you, because a decade ago, I didn't do that. I just had my construction company, right? And I was doing okay, but there's no wealth, there's no leverage in that. Now I'm floating around in Colombia, working all these businesses and building companies and just having a blast, doing what I love. You guys do the same thing too if you commit to it. Like I said, 4-year college in network marketing. Put those 4 years in, watch what happens. You'll have money, you can invest in real estate, you can start your own companies, you can start to scale and grow and leverage. The 4 years is going to go by anyway. So why not use willpower and discipline and commit to yourselves and your family, right, to do what it takes to get to the top of the heap here. All right, guys, so I'm going to chat a little bit about levels of awareness. And what we're doing here tonight is we're raising your level of awareness in wealth building. And I'm going to give you some examples here, right? $50,000 a year is not good or bad. It just is. It's a level of awareness. And nobody's earning $50K a year because that's what they want. They're earning $50K a year because that's what they're aware of how to do. Think about that, right? $100K, $250K a year. Nobody's earning $250K a year because that's what they want. They'd be earning that because that's what they're aware of. Now, at $250K a year, a lot of people get lazy and comfortable, and they just kind of coast and do the thing. But it's still not, if you ask them what they want, well, I'd like to make $1 million a month, right? So it's not what they want, it's what they're aware of. Now, levels of awareness are frequencies, just like radio stations on a dial, right? You got to tune into the frequency, right? So 500,000, $1 million, right? 5 million a year. This is just a level of awareness. 5 million a year is not big or small. It just is. And I'm going to prove that to you. That's not a lot of money. It's not a little money. It's just an amount of money, but it's a frequency. The $5 million is already here, isn't it? There's trillions, hundreds of trillions of dollars circulating in currencies. So the 5 million is already here if that's what you want, but you got to become aware of how to do it, probably through multiple revenue streams, right? And the way to do this is studying in your mind. I'm going to give you the roadmap right here. Study in your mind every day a little bit. We're going to give you an outlet for that. Study in your industry. Don't jump into network marketing and then not learn the skills. There's skills. There's a reason why people get to 6 and 7 figures a month. They learn the skills, right? And then take daily measurable action, right? Don't reach out to one person a day. Take daily measurable action. Sit down and reach out to 20, 30 people a day and track it. What'll happen if you do those 3 things, and number 4 is to surrender to the process. You don't have to wonder anymore if you're going to be successful, right? If you're studying in your mind and studying in your industry and taking action every day, you no longer have to wonder if this is going to work a lot. And if you do that every day, you're going to start to connect the dots like Felix is, right? You're going to go from $400 in net worth to 10K a month overnight, right? Because you're raising your levels of awareness and wealth building, and you'll eventually hit your goal. It's not opinion, it's through physics and science. Human beings, we are success-driven mechanisms. You have a conscious, you have a subconscious, and a body. If we're learning new information and taking action, our subconscious starts to store the program called wealth building. This makes sense, guys? This is what will happen too. You'll hit your goal, then you'll realize, geez, I could have set my goal here, right? I could have set my goal here. So there's no such thing as big or small, guys. The earth itself is not big or small. Take a look at this, right? The earth is not big or small. There's only relativity. It's not until you compare it to a golf ball or the universe that we start to say, relatively speaking, it's big or small. Does that make sense? So $1 million a month is not big either. Warren Buffett's making $37 million a day in dividend interest alone. Now, $1 million a month might be nice, and you might want that, but it's not big or small. But here's what happens, guys. If you're looking to even get to 10K a month, right? If you're just starting, if you're putting it out there, like if I could only get to 10K a month, of course you can get to 10K a month. You get to 10K in a day if you want to. But if you're putting it out there, you're pushing it away. You got to minimize it. 10K is easy. And you got to tell yourself it's easy every single day. It's calm, it's effortless, it's easy. I'm on track. If I do certain things in a certain way, I'm going to get to 10K a month, and then 20, and then 50, 100, and wherever you want. Make sense, guys? So it's the universal law of relativity. I'm going to give you some more examples here to really hit this home. And I want you to play along with me here, guys. I want you to jump into the chat, play along with me. Take a look at this picture. Take a look at this picture. What does this picture represent to you guys? Jump into the chat. What does this picture look like? What does it represent to you guys? I mean, obviously it's a baby, fresh. What else does it represent? Innocence, a start. I like that. What else? Happiness. Yeah, maybe, yeah. Immature, youth. An open mind, beginning, next generation. Ignorance, yeah. Yeah, take a look at this picture. Take a real good look, because this is you. This is you. This is also me, by the way. My goal is $21 billion in net worth and assets, so I'm not there yet. So this is also me at my current awareness, right? Now, the difference is this little baby doesn't have any premeditation about what big and small is, right? And there's no, it doesn't beat itself up. It doesn't have anger, fear, doubt, worry. There's no programs, right? So this is you at your current income. And I want you to think about this, right? Because a brand new baby, if I took you at 3 months old and we put your clothes next to you and said, okay, little baby, get dressed, you would bobble your head. You'd look at the clothes. You might drool a little bit. You might crap your diaper, but you ain't putting those clothes on. We would actually use the word impossible. Think about this. It would be impossible for this little 3-month-old baby to put its old clothes on, because why? It's not aware of how to do it yet. It can't even move its arms and legs. It can't speak. So think about this. Now, I'm guessing there's about 100 people on here. I'm guessing that you guys are not watching this webinar naked. I'm guessing you figured out how to put your clothes on, right? At one point, you literally figured out how to do the impossible. Think about that. The only difference is now is you have limiting beliefs given to you by other people over time that you've accepted. You didn't even choose these beliefs. Think about that. And once you start to understand this, you can strip away limiting beliefs, ignore society. Unless you want society's results, I'd stop listening to them, right? Anybody that says, oh, what are you in one of those things? It's like, what? One of those things where if I put my head down for 4 years, I can get to 6 figures a month? Or one of those things that started Tony Robbins? Or one of those things that started my mentor, Brian, into 12 different revenue streams, right? So you got to understand people are ignorant, and it's okay. It's not their fault. So at one point, you did the impossible. All right, guys, so take a look at this and put some fire in the chat too if this is making sense. And I want you to look at this picture and tell me, what does this represent? Take a look at this picture. What does this represent to you guys? Messy. What else? Making mistakes, learning process. Exactly. Fun baby, falling forward. Yeah, look at this, right? Well, this is still you. Right? This is still you trying new things. This is you starting your network marketing company. But now here's the difference. Look at the expression on this baby's face. The baby's having fun. It's enjoying the ride. Some of you are not having fun, and you're putting out a double binding message to the people you're talking to. You're in a low vibration saying, join my company, but you're miserable, right? Oh, I haven't signed anybody this week. So what? Enjoy the ride, right? The baby doesn't care and it's enjoying the ride. You absolutely have to enjoy the ride. I can promise you it's not the 6 or 7 figures a month. When you get there, it's actually not that big a deal. It's the ride, it's the journey, it's the person you become in the process. You have to fall in love with the journey. When you understand physics and the law of cause and effects, you'll really understand you can't be in a low vibration and succeed at a high level. Matter of fact, if you're in a low vibration, you're going to attract a bunch of low vibrating people in your business. And then you're going to be wondering why, like, how come nobody's doing anything? Well, we become what we think. You're attracting these people in your life. And I'm going to show you how this works. All right, guys. And the last thing I want you to understand, it's not your fault. You got to understand this one. If you're beating yourself up, you're putting out more low energy, right? You're in a low vibration. It's not your fault. You wouldn't blame this baby for making a mess. So why would you blame yourself if you're not wealthy yet, if you don't have the programs called wealth building? This baby doesn't have the program called eating yet. Does that make sense? So it's not your fault. Stop wasting time and energy beating yourself up. Only focus on what you want and where you're going. Put all the energy into that and watch what happens in a short period of time. All right, guys, I told you this is going to be like drinking from a fire hose. I want to show you why this is. I want to show you why most people are stuck. Most people go to the grave stuck, never having accomplished much of anything, because we're born into ignorance and we're taught to look at results, right? And it's nobody's fault. It's not your fault. It's not your parents' fault. It's not even the school system's fault. It's just generational ignorance. But we're taught to look at our results. We're taught to look at the report card. And it says, oh, Felix is a D student, right? Felix isn't a D student. That's just what he was thinking 3 months ago from some courses that he's probably not even interested in, right? History, math, English, science. You know, teach Felix real estate and wealth building. Maybe he'd be interested. So at a young age, we're doing all these bullshit courses, and then we get graded on it. Now, what happens is Felix's parents say, why are you getting D's, right? And then Felix has a low vibration. He starts to internalize this. Oh, maybe I am a D student. Like, maybe I'm messing up here. And we're looking at the results to cause the thinking, right? Now, the thinking causes feelings, and Felix might get into a sad vibration or even depressed, right? In school or something. Like, why come I'm not, how come I'm not getting A's or whatever that is, right? So guys, the word feeling is a word that we use to describe the conscious awareness of the vibration you're in. I'm going to slow this down a little bit. The word feeling means conscious awareness of vibration. So if you tell me you feel sad, what you're saying is I am consciously aware that my mind and my body are in a low vibration. And if you feel excited, I mean, you could hear the excitement in Felix's voice when he fired up this webinar. That wasn't him 8 months ago. He was in a low vibration. He was in a very reactive state, matter of fact. He's looking at his environment and he was reacting. That's not his fault. Nobody ever taught him not to, right? We teach you guys to live from the inside out. Happiness has nothing to do with where you live, the amount of money you have, or the person you're with. It's a choice that starts every morning, right? So feeling is vibration. And if you tell me you feel excited, you're saying I'm in a high vibration. So the key to this whole thing is to get into a high vibration and stay there. Then you'll start attracting through the law of attraction and magnetism, people, places, things into your life that make you successful. So this is what happens. These feelings drive the body. Vibration drives the body. And if you're in a low vibration, you're probably going to be procrastinating. And if you're in a high vibration, you're going to just crush it. Does this make sense, guys? Now, what I want to do is teach you how the 1% thinks. So take a look at this, screenshot this if you can, because this is how you're probably currently programmed. You're looking at your bank account, you're looking at your current body, you're looking at your current everything, and it's causing you to feel sad. It's actually not causing you to feel sad. You're looking at the environment and choosing to feel sad. And I'm going to show you how this works. Guys, this is how the 1% thinks. Every morning I wake up with new thinking, $21 billion in net worth and assets. And I have a vision book right here, right? And I got this vision book. You ought to get one of these. I travel all over the world with this, right? There's my software company selling for 21 billion. There's the mega yacht we're going to get with it, right? And I have pictures of all this stuff happening. It's a vision book. And when I look at that, it puts me in a very high vibration. But I'm always starting with the new thinking. New thinking, and the new thinking, right, is going to cause what? It's going to cause new feelings. Think about this. I let the feeling cause the vibration instead of the results to cause the vibration, right? And it causes new actions. This is exactly what happened to Felix over the past 8 months. New actions, new language, new tonalities, high vibration. And this is what you see top income earners doing, right? They're in a high vibration. Dude, that guy's on fire. What does that mean? He's on fire. It means he's in a high vibration, right? So new actions have to cause new results, don't they? Right? Everything starts as no thing. Everything starts as energy. The iPhone itself started as thought energy in Steve Jobs' mind. So since everything starts with energy and thought, let's start with the thinking instead of the results. Does this make sense, guys? Drop some fire in the chat. I really want you to catch this point. Take a screenshot. You can't look at your current results unless you want to keep creating your current results. If you want new results, you have to change the thinking, and it can't be random. It has to be all the time. It has to be a healthy obsession with where you're going. All right, guys. This next slide here is the mind map, and this is really the core of what we teach. When you start to understand this, number one, you'll understand what a paradigm is and how it got there, but you're also going to understand how to change it. And we're going to give you an opportunity to change it here. It'll be a decision that you'll have to make, right? But you have a conscious mind, a subconscious mind, and a body. And the reason it's drawn like this, the mind drives the body. I want you to think about this. The body is the instrument of the mind. It's the way we interact physically with the world. If I have a thought, then my body creates, right? Just most people aren't thinking. They go through school, they get a job, they get lulled to sleep, and they figure, everybody else can do it, but I can't. And they just stop thinking. Mental activity, guys, doesn't constitute thinking. It's just mental activity. And most people go the entire day and most of their lives without actually thinking, right? The only time you're thinking is when you're trying to solve a problem that you don't know the answer to and when you're writing. I'm not thinking right now. I'm not trying to solve a problem. I'm just accessing programs called coaching. Does that make sense? I'm literally not thinking. It's just my hands are moving and I'm talking, but I'm not thinking. During the day, I do think a lot because I'm creating new companies or solving problems. I work with people one-on-one. We're constantly solving challenges. So I do happen to think a lot, but most people don't. So think about this. Conscious, subconscious body. We're born in ignorance, and we're born to have worry and doubt and negative thinking. Oh, what if I fail? What if it doesn't work? Or what if you succeed? What if you become a billionaire? If you're going to what if, let's what if in the right direction. This worry and doubt in the conscious mind leads to fear in the subconscious mind. Fear is an emotion. It's an emotion. It's energy in motion, and it doesn't exist unless you put energy towards it. It can't, right? Fear is the opposite of faith. It's an illusion. There's nothing to fear. Even death itself is an illusion. There's no such thing as death. There's only transmutation of energy, and that's a whole nother webinar. But if death itself is nothing to fear, then everything in between would be nothing to fear either. But this is what happens. Fear has to express to and through your body as the physical form of anxiety. So put a 1 in the chat if you've ever had anxiety, guys. Just be honest. I've had it when I was younger. Not a lot, but I've had it. Fear is the physical expression of worry and doubt. It's a transmutation of energy. These thoughts have to express to and through your body. Anxiety is the physical expression of worry and doubt. And anxiety leads to procrastination. The reason why anxiety leads to procrastination is people don't like that pit in their stomach or the headache. They don't like the feeling of anxiety So it's easier to go sit on the couch, turn on the TV, and watch other people living their dreams than it is to keep pushing forward, keep prospecting, keep educating, right? No after no after no. They don't like the feeling, so they stop moving. We don't want this to be you. We want you to understand what this is. And I want you to, the next time you feel anxiety, say to yourself, I'm growing. I'm growing. It's a growing pain. It's quite necessary, right? We don't grow without resistance, whether it's your mind or your muscles. Now, procrastination is going to lead to depression. It's going to lead to depression because we're born in God's image, right? We're born in God's image. We're designed to create. God is a creator. We're designed to create. So if you're not creating something, it's going to be depressing. This is why people that work factory jobs for 40 years, I mean, they damn near want to put a gun to their head. And there's nothing wrong with working a factory job, guys. I worked at GE for 10 years. It's just I didn't know anything about this stuff. I was ignorant, right? But this is what leads to depression. And then we give people tranquilizers and drugs to get out of depression instead of just a little bit of education on how the mind-body connection works. Because anything that can be programmed into the subconscious mind, like depression, can be programmed out. And this is how you do it. You understand through knowledge, through seminars and webinars like this. You have positive thinking. People are like, oh, what are you, a positive thinker? Well, yeah, I'm an engineer too, and I understand physics and energy flow. Why would I think negative unless I want negative results? Why would I be angry unless I want negative physical results? Why would I have fear, doubt, and worry unless I want to replicate fear, doubt, and worry in my physical world? It's just straight physics, guys. If you want the light to be on, you turn the switch on. If I want the light to be off, I turn the switch off. It's no different, right? So study and understanding, positive thinking. This is what leads to faith. Faith is not just a religious term. It's a frequency of mind. It's the opposite of fear. And either way, it's a choice, so why not choose faith? Right? Fear is, I don't think it's going to work. Faith is, I know it's going to work. It's a simple choice every single morning, and it's your mind, so you can choose. Right? So faith leads to well-being and calmness. It leads to acceleration. It leads to a body in motion. Right? When you have faith, nothing can stop you. Right? And instead of fearing that it won't work, let's have faith that it will. If you're going to choose one, let's just choose faith. Does that make sense, guys? So I know this is like drinking through a fire hose. Take a screenshot of this. Put some fire in the chat. If this is making sense, this right here is the core of what Bob Proctor and I teach. I teach this to entrepreneurs. I teach it in corporations, sales team. I teach this to people with PTSD, right? You're not born with PTSD, and anything that can be programmed in can be programmed out with a little bit of awareness. Make sense? Cool, cool. I love all the fire in the chat, guys. Take a look at this picture, and I want you to play along with me again. What does this look like to you guys? Take a look at this picture. What does this represent to you guys? What does this picture look like? Scrambled. Thinking, I don't know if this is thinking. Confusion, chaos. Chaos, stress, absolutely. This is the opposite of thinking, by the way. Mindless. Too much info that doesn't make sense. Yeah, guys, this is what fear looks like. Fear is an illusion. Fear is an illusion. It doesn't exist until you put energy towards it. This is what doubt looks like, right? What if it doesn't work? Or what if it does, right? Instead of doubting yourself, why don't you doubt that it won't work? I mean, you're a child of God. You have the same creative power, right? We're tapped into the infinite. We can create. If you don't think so, you're probably holding up an iPhone, right? That used to be thought energy. We are creators. These don't grow on trees, do they? Everything starts in thought energy. The entire universe itself started as thought energy, right? The Big Bang Theory doesn't make any sense at all. You don't start with something. You start with nothing, which is energy, and you put it into motion to create something. So it's no different, right? And this is what worry looks like. And guys, I want you to write this one down. Take out a pen. Worrying is praying for what you don't want. I'm going to say that one again. Worrying is praying for what you don't want. You're putting energy out to create what you don't want. Worried about the bills, worried about COVID. I've been traveling all over the world. I cannot catch COVID. I'm not a vibrational match for it. I've literally had dinner with people that had it. I found out afterwards, but I can't catch it. I'm not a vibrational match for it. I don't worry. Why would I worry? It doesn't make sense to worry unless I want to create what I'm worrying about, right? We pray for what we want. It's just that people pray on Sundays and then they worry 6 other days of the week. And then they wonder why, how come God's not answering? Well, you don't understand how to pray. It needs to be a 24/7, 365 energy. Only what you want and where you're going. And then it'll happen, right? Through law, through physics. Awesome, guys. So take a look at this picture. Take a look at this picture. What do you think this looks like? What do you think this looks like? Take a look at this picture. What does this represent to you guys? Wealth, faith. Oh, somebody nailed it, Sarah. People don't usually catch that one. This is what faith looks like, right? This is where you guys got to get. You can't worry about what other people think. You shouldn't be concerned about what other people think unless you're talking to a billionaire when it comes to wealth. See, these people don't care what you and I think. They don't care what anybody thinks. And they don't wonder every day if it's going to work or not. They make a decision and they go after it, or they die trying, right? Now, this is what faith looks like. This is where you need to get. Faith is the frequency of mind you need to hold between deciding on a goal and getting the goal. So my goal is $21 billion in net worth and assets. And my frequency of mind, I know it's going to happen. I don't wonder. Wondering is for amateurs. That's for the masses. That's not for people that understand. I know that if I hold a high frequency and I study in my industry and I do take action every day, that has to happen, right? I mean, Mark Zuckerberg was a multi-billionaire at age 23, right? Why can't I do it? Why can't you do it? Now, I'm not saying you want to be a billionaire, but if it's 10K, 100K, $1 million a month, those are super easy things to do. And you're in a company that can do it, right? I want you to think about that, guys. All right, so that's the mindset part of our training, right? I want to give you guys some actual network marketing industry specific things to do. I want to give you some things that you can do that are going to guarantee you to blow up. Daily methods of operation. Now, if you choose to ignore this, that's on you, right? I'm going to give you the keys to the kingdom, right? You want to study in your mind, you want to study in your industry, and you want to take daily measurable action. I want you to think about that, right? I want you to think about that. Study in your mind, study in your industry, and take daily measurable action. Now, we have something called the Mindset Masters. It's 67 cents a day. This is where Felix started. This is going to give the keys to the kingdom for your mindset. If you guys want to, we're offering this here, daily live coaching, little tidbits, something to hold your hand every single day in mindset. And this is what Felix started with, and he's going to drop a link in the chat there. But this is the mindset piece. Or you could study Think and Grow Rich. You can study a whole host of things. You don't have to do this, right? But you want to study something in your mind, and you want to take daily measurable action. So what does this look like? Well, if you're in Forex, you want to paper trade a live trade every single day. Paper trade or live trade every single day. All right? You want to start to build the pattern and build the program of trading. How many people a day you're reaching out to? Hey, Felix, listen, what's up, man? I got something I'm into. I'd love to jump on a quick call. Not sure if it'd be for you or not, but I'd love to chat. How many people are you asking? Are you open to taking a look at a business? If not, no big deal. One of my good friends is Ray Higdon, and he teaches that, right? Social media prospecting. Hey, I got something I want to run by you. Let's jump on a call. If not, no big deal, right? So think about that. How many people a day are you asking? You noticed I didn't say how many people a day are you signing. I don't care if you sign people. I just care if you ask people. You guys see the difference? Fall in love with the cause, not the effect. If I want this light to be on, I got to turn the switch on. I'm not sitting there looking at the light trying to magically make it turn. I got to turn the switch on. In network marketing, the switch is how many people a day are you asking? And disconnect from the results. Disconnect from the results. And then surrender to the process. See, most people start not just network marketing, but any company, and then they get all fired up. And then the next day, what if it doesn't work? Oh, I talked to 3 people, nothing happened. Surrender to the process. I don't care what happens. Just study in your mind, study in your industry, take daily measurable action, and you will be guaranteed to be successful. Time becomes the only variable. That makes sense, guys? Weekly method of operation. Weekly method of operation, right? Attend a weekly business presentation or a training. Think about this. Attend your company's weekly training, weekly presentation. If you're in network marketing and you're not attending events, you will not be successful. I've never met a person, I've been all over the world teaching network marketing and mindset. You will not be successful if you're not plugging in every week to at least a presentation and some training. Promise you. You might as well quit if you're not going to be willing to do those couple things. It takes an hour, right? It takes an hour a week to plug into something. Keep your mind right, stay in the industry, get with your people, get with the culture. So make sure you're attending a weekly presentation. Now, one of the things I taught to Maurice and Felix is a weekly prospecting Zoom meeting. So if you have a little bit of a team, guys, get together on a Saturday, open up a Zoom, and reach out to people together. Share what's working. Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Shaper, WhatsApp. Reach out to people and say, let's each reach out to 50 people today. And you just open up the Zoom and you do it together. You hold each other accountable. This is single-handedly the biggest thing that'll blow up your business. I don't care if it's just you and one person. Commit to Saturday mornings for an hour prospecting and watch what happens, right? Have about 100 people a week on my Saturday mornings, and we commit to reaching out to 50 people. 5,000 invites in an hour go out in my business on Saturday mornings. I teach a 5-hour-a-week business model. 1 hour on Saturdays, 1 hour on Tuesdays training, 3 to 5 half-hour appointments a week. Made me the number 2 earner in my income in my company, right? And I don't say that to impress you. I just don't overcomplicate it, right? And I disconnect from the results. All right, guys? And then promotions and follow-up, right? You can't just ask somebody once. The average person needs 5 exposures. 80% of all sales in any industry happen from the 5th exposure on, right? So it might be a phone call, it might be a video, you might bring them to a meeting, you might introduce them to somebody, do a 3-way call. 80% of all people that are going to sign up with you, 5 touch points. Except most network marketers quit after the first one. Hey, check out my thing. Nah, I'm not interested. And they quit. That's 1 touch point. Now, that's not network marketing. That's just sales anywhere in any industry all over the world. You got to understand the numbers, right? You need to follow up with people. Now, you don't want to hound somebody, but say, listen, Felix, I don't know if my company's for you or not, but this is what it's doing for me. It's worth taking a look. It might help you out in your real estate business, learn some skills. Why don't you check out this 2-minute video and we'll chat. And when they check the video, say, hey, bro, what'd you like best about that video? I still don't know if this is a fit for you, but I got somebody else. I want to introduce you to my business partner. They can explain the compensation side of what we're doing. And, maybe it'll be interesting, maybe not, but I think it's worth, exploring, right? Multiple revenue streams. COVID just hit. People are home. So get good at escalating people and educating people, not hounding them. There's a big difference. All right, guys. So weekly method of operation. If it's not written down in your calendar, it ain't going to happen. If I can't look at your calendar and see the hours you're working your company, you're not in business. I want you to think about that. If I don't see like a Tuesday and a Saturday and some appointments where you're prospecting, you're not in business. You're toying around with something. There's no business in the world that you can run without hours of operation. If you open up a restaurant, you have hours of operation. If you're a realtor. So network marketers, the biggest thing you guys fail at is using your calendar and disciplining yourself to just sit down and prospect. Does that make sense? All right, guys, throw some fire in the chat if that's making sense. I wanted to give you some mechanical tools, not just mindset training. And if you follow this and you're going to get the recording, I promise you that stuff will work. But I want to give you some paradigm shifting tools. This is hands down going to be the most impactful part of the deal. Goal cards, vision boards, and life scripts. Goal cards, vision boards, and life scripts. All right, a goal card, and you guys have probably heard of this. It's a short paragraph written on a card that you carry in your pocket. You read it 10 times in the morning, 10 times at night. Now, why would we do that? Well, you're rewiring your subconscious mind through repetition, right? It's a short paragraph. I'm so happy and grateful now that I've earned in excess of $21 billion in net worth and assets by January 1, 2025 in a calm, confident, heavenly manner. That's one of mine, right? But it reminds you every morning, every night. It's auto-suggestion. Carry it in your pocket everywhere. Carry it with you. I have a vision book sitting here. It's got about 20 pictures, houses and yachts and well, not even yachts, like full-blown ships, right? And my software company, gaming company, all these things. Those are reminders, right? So carry this with you. Read it in the morning 10 times out loud and every night. Now, most of you are not going to do this, right? And the ones that don't, you'll be part of the masses. Now, the ones that do, remember I told you that 1% of the world earns 96% of the wealth? 1% of the people have a written goal card. So by writing a goal on a card and carrying it with you, you're putting yourself into the mindset of the 1% tonight, or the 1% tonight. Does that make sense? So if you want to be part of the 1%, you do what the 1% does. And less than 1% of the population has goals written on a card. So get a goal card. Don't underestimate that, guys. I didn't make this stuff up. This is just how it works. And this is what happens. You take the goal right? 6 figures a month from the conscious, and over time you get it into the subconscious. Once it's in the subconscious will cause the body, raise the vibration to take action, pick up the phone, call people, and build your business. This is what results are. Results are the physical expression of the mental program. You can't go backwards, except everybody's looking at the results, aren't they? On my bank account, my body, my relationship. And they're using that to cause their thinking. Take a look at this picture and realize you can't go backwards. If you're looking at results, you're going to get more results. If you're thinking, you're going to cause new results. You guys see the difference? Awesome, awesome. Vision boards, vision boards. I have a vision book now because I travel so much. But a vision board is the results of the goal achieved. This is what you would do with it. Vacations, family, Rolexes, Ferraris, whatever floats your boat. A vision board is designed to keep you in a high vibration, right? And they say a picture's worth 1,000 words, don't they? What does that mean, right? This reinforces the goal to the subconscious mind. So the goal is the 21 billion. My book over here, actually, I'm going to show you guys this, my little vision book. Because I have this everywhere in the world I go, right? Again, there's the software company right next to Facebook and WhatsApp. There's the Contact Ninja Mega Yacht, right? Here's me and Bob and my daughter, Maddie, right? #1 wealth mindset coach in the world. That used to be just a dream. Here's me and my network marketing company. #1 income earner, right? We're #2 right now, but it's coming. And not too long ago, I wasn't even at the top, right? Pictures, reminders. Look at that bad, Larry. Vision book, right? Look at some of this stuff. These are all pictures that remind me of where I'm going, right? Look at this there. Boom. How'd you like to have a boat bigger than your house? So guys, get a vision book, get a vision board. Small vision board, small vision. I'm going to show you why this works here in a second. Because we think in pictures, right? We think in pictures. Back in the caveman days, the earliest days of primitive man, we found drawings on the walls, didn't we, in the caves? Think about this. Way back before we could even speak, we found drawings. And there was drawings of the big hunt, right? Hunting pictures like this one here. And what I want you to understand is these early cave dwellers, these cavemen, right? They didn't go out and hunt and then come draw a picture of it. They were drawing pictures of what they wanted. They were trying to call into existence, right, the big hunt. So they didn't hunt and then draw. They were preying on drawings. Does that make sense? When I showed you that book, we think in pictures. My words, my tonality, everything I'm doing, I'm causing pictures in the screen of your mind. So that's why a vision board. And I always say small vision board, small vision. This is one of my vision boards at home. It's 4 feet by 8 feet. And I have 3 of them. 4 feet by 8 feet. And I want to show you something. This little lake house right here, 2 years ago, you can see back in 2018, this is an old picture. This lake house was on my vision board. I didn't own it. Here it is from Google Earth. Got 3 docks, 700 feet of frontage, multi-million-dollar home, right? And this house was never for sale. It was never for sale. But I held the vision. It was on the board. I kept asking and asking and asking. And came up with new ways, new ideas, new visions. And eventually the guy sold it to me, right? But it was never for sale. And now I sit and I own that house. So anything that goes on the vision board has to happen over time. Does that make sense, guys? That house was never for sale. I literally willed that into existence over time with thought energy. Make sense? Now here's the biggest thing. Here's the biggest action item I want you guys to do. It's called a life script. And we teach this inside of the Mindset Masters. The state of mind must be of the feeling of the wish fulfilled. So the state of mind must be of the high vibration of your goal achieved, is another way to say it. You can't be in a low vibration unless you want low vibrating results. Make sense? And it's your mind, so let's start mastering it. This stuff, nothing's happening to you. It's happening through you. COVID's not happening to you, right? You got to process the information. We label things as good or bad. There's no such thing as good or bad. We label them as good or bad, right? It's the written and spoken story of your life as if, all right? You're brainwashing yourself for your body to move into action. That's what the life script is. It's the written and spoken story of yourself. I have a life script that's about 30 minutes and I listen to it over and over at the gym. It's me speaking to myself about all of this stuff already being done. And it's called the actor's technique. I'm going to give you a reason, right? You guys all think about your favorite actor. What does an actor do? An actor reads a script, don't they? Over and over and over and over again. Now, a good actor is not acting. They actually become the character. They become the character. And I use this picture here. Heath Ledger in the movie Batman, he played the Joker. Heath Ledger he acted this part even offset. He never came out of character even when he was home. He was so into it, like he was a professional, right? Now, he studied this over and over, and this is a very depressing character, wasn't it? And he ended up committing suicide towards the end of this movie. Now, think about this. Think of like Robin Williams, right? He committed suicide. I think really good actors that play dark roles, what they're doing, they're changing their subconscious mind so many times. I think they forget who they really are. I think they actually become so disconnected because they're literally changing paradigms every time they get a new role. Does that make sense, guys? So you can use this same technique to create the story of your life and script your life. You speak it over and over again. All right, guys, so my time's coming up pretty soon here, but I want you to take a look at this picture. Take a look at this picture because in all of recorded history, all throughout all kinds of civilizations all over the world, there's only been one tribe doing a rain dance. Every time they did a rain dance, it rained. Every time they did a rain dance, it rained. All of recorded history through all different civilizations all over the world. There's been thousands of tribes, even to this day, when they do a rain dance, it doesn't rain. It's more of a sporadic thing. So I want you guys to take a look at this and try to answer this question. Why is it that you guys think every single time this one tribe in history did a rain dance, it rained? I want you to type in the chat, why this one tribe, every time they did a rain dance, it rained? Why do you think that is? Connection? What else you guys think? They all believed because they believed it would happen. Faith, these are good answers. Faith. Vibration. Guys, I really want you to hear this one because this is network marketing in a nutshell. The reason why it rained every time this tribe did a rain dance is because they danced until it rained. Think about that. They danced until it rained. 3 hours, 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. They danced until it rained. That makes sense? That's network marketing. Guys, don't put a 3-month, 6-month, 12-month time limit on this, right? You do it until. Entrepreneurs, we do something until. I'm going to get to $21 billion in net worth assets for my company or die trying. There's no time limit on that. You dance until it rains, guys. So that's my time here tonight. Hopefully this has been impactful. I want you to understand that wealth is 95% mindset and 5% what you do, right? And it's decision. Look at these people. They make decisions. You got to go all in. Stop listening to the masses unless you want the result of the masses. Decision, right? Now I want you to imagine that you take tonight and you go all in. You use the information, you watch these recorded, you take what I give and you go all in for 12 months. Imagine where your life would be 12 months, 24 months. Time's going to go by anyway. 4 years is going to go by anyway. Why not commit to yourself, right? To your education, to your family, to breaking the chain. Imagine where you would be from going all in, right? Like I said, I know 20-year-old kids crushing 7 figures a month in network marketing. Wouldn't that drive you crazy? You guys are all in network marketing. What's the difference? Mindset, persistence, faith, desire. Imagine your life. Where's it going to be? 1 year, right? 2 years, 5 years. 5 years goes by quick, guys. You might as well do something that's going to build to your wealth, right? So guys, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, right? I like to say the definition of insanity is watching the seminar and then not joining us in the Mindset Masters. Guys, this is 67 cents a day. This is a give back program. This is something that we do to give back so no one gets left behind. We teach people for $5,000 an hour one-on-one, but we have this program, No One Left Behind, Mindset Masters. This is where Felix got his start. This is where Maurice got his start. There's a link in the chat. This is my time here today, guys. It's been my pleasure, my honor to serve you. Felix, if you want to come on and close out, brother, I'm happy to have been here. Happy you invited me. And hopefully you guys have gotten a lot of value out of what we've done here today. Be well and God bless, guys.
Can we drop a 777 in the chat for Brian? If you enjoyed this call, if you learned something, if you had any bit of value, drop a 777 on the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, thank you, Brian. First and foremost, I appreciate you. Appreciate taking the time. You being in a whole different country. I know that today that nobody should be in the same mindset. Nobody should be thinking the same way. Nobody should be left behind. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know, this is one of the things that I said. This is one of the most valuable things that I've ever came across this year. You know, regardless of companies, regardless of what I've done, not no company, not no person, I mean, or thing has ever came more valuable than the information that Brian is directing towards me, man. So there you go. One of the best calls, if not best information. Hey, Brian, I actually pitched it to the chat, and they actually are thrilled if you can become the official personal development coach for B. So if we can do that, Brian, I think everybody else loved it. I put it in my chat. Drop a 3 in the chat if you want Brian to be a coach for B. The official coach for B. Drop a 3 in the chat. Let's see if we can get that going.
Nice. No, I'd be happy to do it. Like, Felix, like I said, you know, I love you as a brother and a friend, and as a student, you've been very, very disciplined. I'd be happy to do, you know, whatever we can for you guys. Your company is exploding. You know, you guys are going global, and I'd love to help in any way we can.
Nah, definitely. I'm gonna definitely try to get in contact with the John. If you're in this call, you heard it live here. But ladies and gentlemen, you know, if you want to get this life script, you want this hands-on information that helped me again, like I scaled my first $10,000 in network marketing from only earning $200 to my account, $300 to $400 to my account. This is the link that kind of changed. Not kind of, it did change my life. You know what I'm saying? It changed my life. So, ladies and gentlemen, for $20 a month, right? You can have this hands-on information right here, right now. Every Monday, we have a webinar at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And I'm excited, guys. You know, if you click the link, I just send it right here in the chat, right here in the Zoom link. I'm sending it in our B chats as well. Trust me, it's better than Netflix and Hulu. That's for a fact, okay? That's for a fact. The best $20 I ever spent, more than any food, more than any bit of information, more than any investment, because the best investment you can do is for yourself. Invest in yourself, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, so you know, click that link, guys. I want to actually do a life script. Yo, if y'all ready to get up and started, I'm actually, you know, contact me. I want to have a time to do our life scripts today, this weekend. You feel me? The link is right there in the chat, y'all. So I'm looking forward to more collaboration with you, Brian. Thank you very much. Maurice, appreciate you being on the call. We're definitely going to have a serious talk, actually doing that big move for our company. But